Off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, you will get an alert every weekday morning to tune in to a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kardashian talk, no whatever talk there is. Because if you're looking for the headlines, they ain't going to be here. All of the headlines these days are negative. So we don't want to continue to focus and make negative grow more. You know, I'm a big law of attraction fan. What you focus on grows bigger. So that's why this show has been going on now for 688 consecutive weeks. Wow. Balancing out the bad news with some good news. You're going to get heartlines here. You're going to get great stories. Someone said it's like taking that last little story at the end of the hour on regular news and stretching it out into an entire show. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm so grateful to have so many supporters. I was shocked myself the other day or a couple weeks ago. Didn't know, I don't even know if I knew what impressions meant, but 3.94 million now. So I'm happy that good news travels and that those who said show that didn't talk about the headlines wouldn't last a year. But 13 years later, no, I'm just kidding. I'm so happy that I am still here. And thanks for celebrating my 13 years here. If you missed any of my past show with some of my repeat guests, Little House on the Prairie, Nellie, we had Chris Wark, who beat cancer with a vegan diet. We had, there's just so many, half the cast, Happy Days, all have expressed the wonderful, Rich Little came back on last week, iconic impressionist. So, you know, just keep it here. And thanks for tuning in. And it is #Tuesday Talent Series, where I spotlight people that I meet in my travels who I want to support and give the platform to talk about things that are very interesting to me. It is my show, after all. But I wanted to bring especially this young woman who you see on in the studio right now. Let me tell you a bit about her. She was born, Anika was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and migrated to the U.S. and grew up in Maryland, where she graduated from the University of Maryland, College Park, with a bachelor's in communications. As a young girl, she watched her grandma sew garments, linings, and drapes for their home and family, and she was always intrigued with the art of creating clothing. The name LAS stands for Land, Air, Sea, which also represents her 3 children, Landon, Ari, and Sienna. Need these now. New to the fashion design industry, Anika brings a fresh and innovative approach to travel wear that translates to everyday wear that blends sophistication, wellness, and style. Family, fashion, travel, style, comfort, wellness. That is LAS. Please welcome to my studio, Anika McKelvey.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I am just
Yes.
so honored to be here with you today. When I met
Well,
you, I knew we connected.
mm, yeah, and
Yeah.
that story in it of itself, if you saw the promo, I, I live in a this friendly universe that shocks and delights me every day, even when circumstances are not like what I want. But the story, a lot of you already know, but just for our new listeners and watchers, and welcome. I see eyeballs rolling in. If you're driving, please do not chat with us, but we are live. So if you'd like to ask questions of my guest or myself, just put them in the comment section, otherwise known as my cashew gallery. So I'll just start with the story of how we met, and then we'll have some breakfast together, which is taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which I didn't warn you about because I like to keep it fresh. I like fresh breakfast, fresh sandwiches. But I thought I would just introduce Anika with how we met, because it's one of those WATCOT stories. What
Mm.
are the chances of that? Those of you who know, I'm broadcasting live from Canada right now. My mom passed, and I uh, had to plan and produce the celebration of life service, which was Saturday, which went well. Thank you very much. But my flight to Canada actually was canceled because 3 days before my flight, went on a routine doctor's visit and saw, as an afterthought, I told him about the little bit of swelling in my leg that was there since April, and my last trip when my mom was in hospice. And I almost didn't tell him. So went to get an ultrasound, and they found two acute large complex clots, one behind my knee, size of like a little mini pancake, and then one
Mm.
long one from my knee to my upper groin. So needless to say, the travel plans were canceled. I had an invite to Modern Day Wife event, thanks to my PR guy Juan, and he's, you got to go to this event, you got to go. And it's like, well, like, I guess I'm grounded. I got nothing else to do. Actually, that's not true. I was moving because I was about to go on world tour, and I don't know if I told you this, Anika, but the
Mm.
plans were already in place. Canada for a month, speaking, book signing after the funeral. Africa, August, Hawaii, September, Ireland, October, Shanghai, November, and Taiwan, December. So with this, the world tour was grounded, and I was not happy. And, once I felt all my feelings, if you missed that show on Monday, how do you get past lingering pain? Go find it. It's free, subscribe. But I had to cancel all the trips, and I was not happy about it. Uh, I think they let me come to Canada because my mother's funeral. So, but it was a shorter flight. So, anyways, go back to the Modern Day Wife event, and I'm walking through, and there's, giant room full of vendors, skincare, clothes. What else was there? Jewelry, like a lot of different vendors. And I was like, I'm not in a shopping mood. And so I sort of wandered around, and the first booth that I stopped at, um, that jean jacket thing caught my eye. So I stopped, and I'm like looking at it, and one of your staff came up and said, so I said, you know, this is loungewear, to be comfortable. And she goes, yes. And inside the the outfit is compression material. And I looked at her and I said, are you kidding me? 2 days ago, I get diagnosed with blood clots, and they tell you have to wear compression stockings, which are super ugly normally. And I
Yeah.
hate wearing them because I had a DVT in 1996. And it was just like so shocking. Like, what are the chances that I have blood clots? And the first booth I stop at has clothing with compression in it. I mean, that is unbelievable, right? It's like totally. So that she goes, hold on, let me get the creator or the founder of this, the designer, she said. And so she drags you over, and like you said, as soon as we saw each other, it was just one of those, you meet certain people and you feel like a connection from another time maybe, or place or whatever. And I definitely felt that with you. And so then she explained it, I modeled it. For those who haven't seen the promo, maybe I'll pull that up. It's kind of a cute little story that I put up of us meeting. And yeah, the next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? I think I met you because I want to let more people know about this really great idea. Plus, you're a colorful woman, and I
Mhm.
love colorful women. And so, yeah, next thing you know, guess what? She's on the show.
I'm on the show. And I'm so excited to be here. I was so happy to meet you because I love to hear the stories. When I was designing this line, it was really just something from my heart. I wanted to design a line, and I thought, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do, maybe just a loungewear line. And I started to take a class, which I'm not a designer. I don't know how to sew. Even though my line comes from my great grandmother's, she's gonna be so embarrassed that I said this. That she's a seamstress, and and I can't sew a button, but I love fashion. And I knew there was something for me. There was something for me. And in this stage of my life, I can really do that. And so when I started to take this class with Melanie De Silva from Virtue and Vice, she's awesome. She said, "You don't need to know how to sew. Do you have an idea? Can you create? Let's do it." And I said, "Yeah, I have that. I have that in me. Let's do it." And she so awesome. And so I created loungewear because I love to travel. But I like to look cute in the airport, but I don't like to look overdressed. I don't like to be uncomfortable. I want it to be. And then she said, "Well, you need your niche. What is it going to be different with the from other loungewear, other?" And I said, "Okay, I don't know. I really don't know." So I took some time. And in that period of time, I was going to see a doctor about my varicose veins because I didn't like how they looked. They were unsightly, they were ugly. And he said, "This is what you can do. You can do all these things, but maintenance is the best thing. Do you travel a lot?" I said, "Absolutely. I travel a lot because my son, who is on a traveling soccer team, had me on the go, 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 go all the time." And I was in the car. And he's that kid that travels internationally. So I was on flights. I was in the car. My weekends were totally devoted to his soccer career. And they said, "Well, you need compression, and that will help." And that's when I had my aha moment. And I said, "Well, let me do that." Then I started to research and dive in and realize that this is a real thing, and it goes beyond just the unsightly. It goes to the point where, it's like you said, Dr. Marissa, like it's a health issue. I have a My sister is a doctor. I talk to her a lot. She doesn't she was like, "Yo, this is something that is needed." in the community, this is something that people need to know, that compression is needed when you travel, when you're sitting. People that are on their feet a lot, retail, people are on they're on their feet a lot. Traveling, you're sitting for a long time and you're needing that compression. So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to do half my line with some compression. And I honestly didn't know where it was going to take me. I didn't know if the response was going to be that great, but I've met other people that said this is something really great and needed, and talked about travel compression, travel compression. And that's what made me come up with the whole idea of the line of travel loungewear.
That's awesome. And so many things I want to jump out and talk about based just on your description there, but I don't want to miss breakfast. So this is the Good Life Habit #Blisscipline that I start every show with, maybe for a couple, 3 years now. So I have breakfast with my guest or breakfast with my co-host, depending on what day it is. So what we do, Anika, is we start the day with gratitudes. So
Mm,
when I say, and you have to be specific, no, I'm grateful for my friends and family. Yes, you are, but I want us to be as specific as possible to model for people that the first thing they do in the morning is not this, which I call MS, which is
mm,
meaningless scrolling, right?
mhm,
Instead, I want you to find things that you're grateful for outside of yourself. That's the top of the bun. And then the bottom of the bun is things that you're grateful for inside of yourself, what I call appreciation, as Abraham Hicks will call it. I want us to go to bed not saying, oh, we didn't get this done or that done, or, I'm really not, I'm not all that. And, I'm really not good at it, or anything like that, or who done me wrong, which
yeah,
certainly will be a bad night's sleep. So we're modeling for people on the bottom of the bun, things to think about so you get a good night's sleep, and also to exercise that muscle so that we're not always looking for love from other people, looking for approval from other people, walking around with our little antenna looking for who likes me, literally on social media. Instead, we affirm ourselves and we know what we're good at and we know what we're not good at, but we want to focus
yeah,
on what we're good at. All right. So that's the exercise. Those of you, I see you in studio. Please play along in the comments, unless you're driving and tuning in on my NBC News Radio channel. Don't do it. Don't write that. Just speak it out
yeah,
loud. So here we go. Top of the bun.
okay.
I am grateful that even when I travel, I can find that amazing, good first cup of coffee,
Mm,
either with, I've got new creamer. I've never had this creamer except when I come to Canada. It's maple latte creamer or something like that. And it's very good. So I'm grateful that I still get my yummy morning coffee no matter where I travel. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful that you asked me this question,
Mm,
because I try to do this exercise with my children. I
mm.
call it the 3 snaps. And I say, in the morning, and I have a teenager, and teenagers are hard to talk to sometimes. Sometimes. So when I pick him up, when I have that moment with him, because their attention span is very short, and I said, give me 3 snaps. Give me 3 snaps what you're grateful about your day. And don't only say because God woke me up today. I need you to go a little bit deeper. And so when they give that to me, then I have to give that back to them about the things that I am grateful for and
Mm.
honored to be. And I am grateful, so grateful for my children, because honestly, I didn't know that I was going to be a mom. And so when I look at their smiles, I say, I'm grateful for your smile. When my daughter goes to school, I I write her these what I call love notes, and I put them in her lunchbox, and I tell her all the things about her that I'm grateful for. And one thing I always say to her is like, "I'm grateful for your hug. You have no idea how your hug makes me feel every day. It makes me feel like I can take on the world
Mm,
because that love that she gives me is like nothing else. And I'm grateful for the hugs of my children."
beautiful. I when my kids were young, I first thing in the morning driving to school would ask them, "What are you grateful for?" Right, three things. And
Mhm.
when they got a little older, so that started at like 4, and then at about 6, I started adding appreciation, which is what do you appreciate
Mm.
about your sister, your mom, and yourself? And they were horrified because if we were carpooling and brought some of their friends, I'd make them do it as well. So I commend you for the exercise. That's awesome. And then when they came home, I pick them up and they all had to you say how was school and they all go good and then they're on their phones, right? So
Yeah.
I would make them they had 2 minutes to fill, like they had to speak about for 2 minutes. I put them on a timer. And it was great because, oh yeah, and I forgot about this or I forgot about that. So there's something you can add to that. And then at night, I did peak or pit. What's the peak of the day and what's your
Mm.
pit of the day? So you are following the balanced parenting model
Yes.
already, not knowing that it was, but it's beautiful to see your face light up, and it is a gift. Children, when I hear people say these days, "Oh, I don't, this is a horrible world. I don't want to bring children into it." It's like, oh no, that hurts my heart because it
Mm.
is, one of those gifts that you don't really understand until you have the kid, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think sometimes we kind of in the hustle and the bustle of the day, we don't appreciate all those little gems that they drop for us. We're thinking we're giving them so much, and we forget how much they're giving back to us, how they fill us up. And my kids, they fill me up in ways that I don't even know, I don't even realize in the moment. And
Mhm.
I love that about that. I love that about being a mom.
Absolutely. All right, that's the top of the bun. Let's go to the bottom of the
Okay.
bun, which is weightlifting for self-love, self-approval, self-care, which I believe, it's my BS, my belief system, that it is the foundation of good mental health. So, what do you like about yourself? And if you grew up like I did with don't toot your own horn, in Chinese and Japanese, there's a saying, the nail that stands up is hammered down. Not real
Mm.
incentive to say what's good about you, but the result of that, well meaning parents, sometimes more mean than well, is that we we lack the ability to approve of ourselves so that we don't need people's approval of ourselves. So that's why we do this. It's all part of personal mastery. Who's the boss of you? So I'll start. I appreciate my ability to know that blood clot or no blood clot, everything happens for my divine and best good. I have no idea why this happened, but a year knows what a day doesn't. And I know it will become clear, but I know that doesn't mean my life is over. Just a little wrinkle, and we'll see what gets ironed out.
Oh,
What do you like about yourself,
you
Anika?
know, it took a while. It took a while for me to really figure out what I do like about myself because I beat myself down so much. I'm like, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? How am I contributing? And I had to like take some time out to figure that out in myself. And I said, you know what I like? I like my energy. I like my fun. I like me because in this season of my life, I've been going through a lot of battles right now, and I had to tap back into that. I had to tap back into, what about me do I like? Forget about whatever everyone else says, forget about what the world says, forget about the people that hurt me says. But what does God say about me? And what do I say about me? And I say, I'm a good woman. I'm a good person. I love, and I love to love. That's
Mm.
what I love about me. I love to love.
Fabulous. All right, that's it for breakfast with myself and my guest today, my hashtag Tuesday talent, Anika McKelvey. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. I would encourage you to continue this good life habit for the next 28 or 21 days, whatever you think is going to create a good habit. I say 30 just in case. So join me every weekday morning to do it with me, or you can do it on your own. But thanks for joining us for breakfast. And I promise you, it will sandwich your day in the most positive way. And now for the topic of the day, which is the person of the day. We've already started talking about what gave her the idea to do what she's doing. And you all heard how we met, which was a WATCOT moment. What are the chances of that? And my friends always say, in your life, Dr. Marissa, pretty high. Because yeah, I am open to it, and I'm always what now, brown cow, knowing that the universe is conspiring for me, never against me. And then that attracts people like Anika, I believe, so that we can play together. So I want to go back to something you said earlier, which is you took a class. Now, I am a huge encourager and advocate for learning new things every single day. Not asking yourself, what do I like to do, or what do I want to be when I grow up, just when you're a teenager, or at the end of college, but as you live and grow, even more than once a year on your birthday, to be open to expanding your talents, gifts, and abilities. Which you have a full plate, 3 kids, you're traveling with them, married, you have, I'm sure, a great family life, and because you're Jamaican. And I had told Anika this, a lot of people say to me, you're Jamaican. And I go, well, actually, I'm not Jamaican. They go, no, you do like so many things. Which is, I think Jamaican is short form for multi-hyphenate, which is a newer term. So I can only
Mhm.
imagine you were already doing like a number of things. What led you to take a class, and what was that class, and where did you take it, to give them some love, as well as encouraging people to branch out and learn something new, especially now when a lot of people are still with the habit of COVID, watching
Yeah.
series till 3 in the morning and saying they don't have enough time, or, just that shelter at home and not trying, new things or exploring.
Well, I think for me, and I want to reach out to people and let them know that I'm a woman of an age. So I have tried many hats of careers and trying to find what, really resonated with me. And I do believe that God is the weaver of our life. And everything that I've gone through, every every career, every experience has led me to this point. I'm a big believer in that. And so when I started doing this, my kids were getting a little bit older. They didn't need me as much like there. And I wanted to start getting back to doing something for me. And fashion had always been a big part of my life and my heart. And I came across this class, Virtue and Vice, with Melanie Da Silva. And I was like, okay. She's like, you don't need to know how to sew. If you have a vision, you can create. And I took the class. It was a 6-month class, and I'm still even in the program because it's so wonderful. And she helps me start, or put down my vision into light. And I was like, wow, I can really do this. I can believe in myself. I can do this. And took the class, I took the course, and I started with one hoodie. And that's what I wanted to do. One hoodie. And I was like, no, I'm more than one hoodie. And that's when I started to believe in myself that I'm more than one hoodie. And in LA at the Modern Day Wife event, I was able to put together my whole collection. And that was so beautiful, but also that was so inspirational for my daughter. She's 11, and she's like, Mommy, you slay it. You're great.
Well,
And when she says that to me, I'm like, yes.
that's so cute.
And
That
that's
is
what
so
I
cute.
wanted to do. But
You
the
remind
class
me.
is what really started it. Yeah.
You remind me. I used to put notes in my kids' lunchbox too, and the younger one is so super loving. It sounds like your daughter a lot. So, yeah. Great. And just so you know, I have one of her original collections that she gifted me, and I'm very grateful for that. A beautiful black, long, and I like long, lounge jacket with compression in the arms, and it's downstairs. Otherwise, I knew I forgot to bring something up to the studio. It's at my brother's house, and it's 3 stories down, so I'm not even going to go try and get it. But it's a beautiful jacket. I didn't know that these were your original, your, what do they call those, original pieces, or there's
Hmm.
another word for that. But anyways,
Samples. Yeah.
yeah, original
Hmm.
sample, and it really, I want to do some talking about that whole idea around things that we don't understand about flight and compression and blood clots and all of that when we come back from break. But wow, that's kind of cool that you made that collection out of a course that you took based on a feeling of something that you wanted to do. And so I commend you for that. Number one. And number two, I believe that every single thing that you saw as a trial or something to try was actually a full chapter in your book of life. And I don't think anything is wasted. When people talk to me about, I hate my job, but it makes good money and I've been doing it a long time. I'm good at what I do, but I just don't like doing it. It's like, don't quit your job. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You have skill set that you got from that are valuable, and appreciate the amount of money that you can make doing something that other people wouldn't be able to. So it's not I tried different things until I found something that I liked. It's I tried different things, and on the way, I landed on something now that is the next chapter of my life. And
I
that
think
is
people don't listen to themselves. Like, you
Mhm.
feel it, you feel something. And because whether it's money or it's time, they downplay it and they don't want to explore that. But I think you feel that. And that's what I felt with last, that this was for me. And I wish people will really tap into that because their talents, they don't tap into their talents enough, and they need to trust their intuition.
Absolutely. We're going to be right back. We have to take a quick break for news, weather, traffic on KCA, AMBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. Here on Take My Advice, I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And we'll be right back. Don't go away. Chuck Woolery used to say, in 2 and 2, we'll be back sooner than that. Peace in and peace out. Don't
Peace
go
out.
away. We'll be right back with Anika McKelvey. and Last Loungewear.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. I am on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And that's why I'm here with fun people as well as people that I want to help spotlight. And today is no exception. Anika McKelvey is a victim. No, I'm just kidding. Is a beautiful inside and out woman that I met at the Modern Day. A wife, not an oxymoron for me. I'm happily single, happily divorced, but it was a great event that had, great everything, music, swag bags, great sponsors and exhibitors. And Anika was one of them. It was a WATCOT moment. 2 days earlier, I had been diagnosed with acute complex blood clots and DVTs, deep vein thrombosis, for the second time in my life. So I'm now convicted to lifetime blood thinners, which I'm grateful for. There is something that can help and reduce my risk of dying. So I like that part, but I just happened to find Anika's loungewear. First thing I picked up, that has compression component to it, which, hello, is the solution to blood clot, making sure that your blood is circulating and not pooling. And so that was like, what are the chances of the first thing that I look at, that 2 days ago I get diagnosed with blood clots and now I get compression wear? Like, hello. So that's how I met Anika. She's here on the show to talk about her wear. We talked about how she came up with the idea. And now I want us to talk about you mentioned, people don't think about their health when it comes to travel. Sedentary movement is one of the reasons why people get DVTs. Different than phlebitis. Phlebitis is common little clots in your legs. DVTs are more life-threatening. A piece can break off like it did for me in 96 into your lungs, pulmonary embolism. I lost 20% of my lung capacity. Now that I practice and teach Tai Chi and Qigong, that's all healed now. But it is something that we don't necessarily talk about. And as we travel more, let's talk about that. So how did you become familiar? You went to the doctor for varicose veins. I honestly don't even know what that is. I have it now because of the clot. So take us through that.
So when I saw it, I thought it was just something hereditary. Like I've seen it in my grandmother. I seen it in many other women in my family, but I didn't want that. I was like, but is there something to change that? Is there something to help me? And so I just was out looking for answers to my questions. And I'm still developing the line, making the compression right, because this is not medical grade compression. And when you do have a serious health issue, you do want to seek your physician's help and knowledge and how they want to help you with that. But I said, well, there's a lower grade compression that just helps with the blood circulation. And when I started to look into that, research that, talk to other doctors about that, they started saying there's different grades of compression. So you start with a low grade and then you get to a medical grade. So this is just what I call a very light compression. I label it travel compression. I haven't seen that yet, but that's what I'm labeling it, because I don't think
Yeah.
people take that seriously. They may wear jeans, they may wear linen, and that's okay. That's okay too. But if you're going on a flight, or if you're standing more than 3 hours, if you're sitting in your car, you need that compression. I said, well, let me try doing it with half my line and see if people will receive it and understand the benefits of it. We take care of ourselves in so many other ways, right? We want to eat healthy, we want to take our vitamins, we want to work out, we want to do all of that. Why don't we want to take care of ourselves when we're traveling? But does that mean you have to compromise style? No. And that's what I wanted to create. Take care of yourself, be healthy, be well in all the place, a balance. A balance. So when you're in the plane, it's not just only about compression, it's also about hydration. And I think people need to hydrate a little bit more on planes, but you need to take into that, all of that. And so I'm really happy that people are listening and hearing that, compression is very key for not just on a plane, but for the car, for walking. If you're standing on your feet for hours, you need that. And we need to take care of ourselves better in everything: mental health, physical health, all of that. So this is just my small piece to give back and bring awareness to how we can take care of ourselves better, but also be stylish. The line isn't about compression, but it's about traveling, looking chic, looking put together, being able to take stuff from your closet and then incorporate it with this line. And you look confident, but you want to be comfortable. Like there's nothing worse than being on a plane and not being comfortable. And so that's how I try to just fuse everything together. And like I said, I'm still working on it. It's still a work in progress, but I'm so grateful for all the positive feedback and the fact that I'm reaching people about the benefits of this.
I pulled up your website, which has great photos of your pieces, your story. Very easy to find. LASLoungewwar. You can get it from my social doc Balance. I just highlighted her again. And it really is one of those things that we don't think about. Now, I always overdress, so I'm not worried about overdressing, and so loungewear wasn't necessarily something that I was looking for. Obviously my compression and medical grade compression is not pretty at all. And so if I'm going to have to wear compression, I will start with this. And certainly I can put, the ugly stuff underneath. But I do love the way that you are combining sophistication. I'm very into style. People's first guess about me is that I'm a fashion designer, which I take as a compliment, which is pretty far from what it actually is. But I do like the fact that, as you can see, these are all very elegant, nothing gaudy about them. I do have a question about this pair of pants. Is there compression under
Let me
that?
see.
You know, what
Which one? Are you looking at
the one that
the
says the
jogger?
Japan knit jogger.
Oh, the Japan Ninja. So also being true to the brand is that it's around travel. So if you look at the names of the pieces, it has something to do with travel. The lat long hoodie, latitude longitude, the
Oh,
compressy
that's
on
cute.
me, the layover tank. All of that was very well thought out for me when I was doing. So as I started to grow the line, I said, okay, not everyone wants compression, not every. So I said, okay, let's do some knit. Let's do some knit. But I wanted knit to be around my travels, the places that I love to be. So I have the
Mhm.
New York knit pants and jacket, and that's great. But the Japan knit jogger is very special to me because I did go to Japan 2 summers ago with my family, and the style was just so chic, but the way it was formed, it looked comfortable, but it gave you like form and fit and elegant. And I was like, oh, I have to design a pant like that.
Mhm.
And that is the number one item that everyone asks me about. I had to make it in white for the modern day wife event because it was an all white event. And so I called up my
Oh.
manufacturer. I was like, listen, we only sell it in black right now, but can you give me a white one? I wore it and I had people chasing me down for the white one. I said, I don't have it yet. I don't, but I will. I will. But they love it because it gives you that structure where you look together, but that looseness and that feel and that comfortable where you don't feel so restricted. You feel good. You just feel
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one too, the driver dress where there's room
Oh,
for the leg to come out. I love that. And I love this one. I actually was gifted a pair of these socks, and
yes.
I love the destination Jamaica. And as I think you told me that every year you're going to have a different destination, and then the country's flags will be
Yeah.
incorporated into the socks. Was that what I remembered?
Yeah, so my Compression Me socks is compression socks, which are great
Hmm.
for traveling, great for exercising, great for every day. But how I decided to make it fun with traveling is that I decided to make every season a different destination. So I'm going to have socks all the time. So the first destination is Jamaica because that is true to my home country.
Of
And
course.
I'm coming out in a few weeks with the second destination, which will be the USA, because this is where I was raised. This is my country. This is where I love. And the third one, which is going to come out a little bit later, I put on social media. I wanted everyone to decide for me. So
Hmm.
I listed 3 places that I love. France, Paris is uh, one of my favorite places to go.
Mhm.
Morocco was somewhere that I went and I was so blown away with the hospitality, and it was such a great trip. And
Mhm.
then the third is a place that I haven't been yet, but I would love to go is Kenya. So I'm asking everyone to vote and decide which should be the third season destination. But Jamaica was the first, and it came together so. I'm so proud of how it all came together. And I've
Yeah.
been receiving a lot of good compliments about it and even people that aren't from Jamaica, they're like, I love the colors.
That's great. I love this one too. The wrap, the world
Oh, the
wrap,
world
that is the
wrap.
compression, right? So the
Yes.
compression is built into the actual jacket.
Yes. So the
Okay.
sleeves, like, so for that one, which all the compression jackets, they're built in the sleeve. And that was 6 trials that we had to go through to make
Mhm.
sure it was connected properly because of the difference
Mhm.
of the fabrics. And we're
Right.
still working on making the sleeve the right like snug.
Mhm.
But yes, the world wrap, I've gotten a lot of great compliments about that because it is a wrap where you feel like you have like a little blanket on the plane, but then you have the compression sleeves that gives you that element, and then you have the little details of the leather trim that gives it that elegance, that over the top hood that makes you
Mhm.
look a little mysterious when you walk through the airport.
Yeah.
Everyone like, you
Well,
look like a superstar.
it's totally me. I think that has my name written on it, and I'm happy to be your trial
Oh yeah.
model all the time. Keisha Turner is complimenting your designs. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Nice to see
Keisha.
you. You're the captain of my cashew gallery today, and as you can see, this will definitely make my blood clots feel less debilitating if I get fashion on top of it. So that is what we're looking at today. Something else I was going to say, and now I forget what it was. Oh, so here's my vote. And I think somebody also gave us a heart. Thank you for that. We love it when we get your reactions. You're welcome, Keisha. I would vote for Morocco, and I will tell you exactly why. And if this doesn't make it the winner, I'm going to have to talk to your husband or your kids or something. But in Morocco, I learned something that I aspire to, especially someone like me who grew up with messages that you're fat, you're ugly. It was negative motivation. And, my mom did the very best she could. And I know that this was just her way, the best way she could show love. But as a result of that, my own body image and my own body dysmorphia has been something for me to work on. And so when I was in Morocco and I saw this beautiful woman, and when I walked by her, I said, "You're beautiful." And she looked at me in the eyes and said, "Thank you, I am." And I almost, yeah, I almost fell over. I'm like, oh, whoa, there's humility, but it really is beautiful if you're a woman, and we have a tendency, like you said, hard on ourselves. We're our own worst enemy. We're our biggest critic. No one's harder on me than I am on myself. Does my butt look fat in this, or does my does this oh, beautiful hair, oh, I didn't even wash it today, or beautiful earrings, and oh, I got it at the 99-cent store, always downplaying. And even if someone pays you a compliment, you're like, thank you, but inside you're like, yeah, but you don't see me with my clothes off, or any of those horrible things we do to ourselves. So when that woman said that in Morocco, vote for Morocco. It was such a delight. And
Did you breathe?
like,
Did you feel like it was like almost like, finally, can we receive compliments? Yeah.
Absolutely. Can we own our beauty
Yeah.
without fear of being put down, ridiculed, compared, not so much by
Or saying
others,
you're
but
arrogant. Or saying
ourselves.
like, "Oh, you're so sassy, you're so arrogant." And I'm like, "No, can I just
Yeah.
say that I'm beautiful with all my flaws? With
Yes.
all my flaws."
Yes, absolutely. And guess what? Keisha agrees with me. You've got 100 votes
Mwah.
now for Morocco. So, yeah. So if it's not Morocco, I'm going to be not happy.
And I walked and I'd go to a restaurant there and you would get food and they were like, before you could even say thank you, they said, "You're welcome. You're welcome." And I'm like, "Oh, because they wanted to serve and please, and we forget about those things in life. How we are here to serve. We're not here to be served. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make someone else's life better, you know?
Mhm.
And I think that's what I really took away from that visit was that that's what's missing sometimes in the world
Mhm.
is that we need to make it a little bit better how we came and showed up.
Yes. And I will say there is some balance in that because I was such a giver and such a sacrificer,
Mm,
and I would, volunteer, all these things. And I broke the rule of putting the oxygen mask on myself before putting it on other people. So there is a little balance for people. And I agree with you for those who are all, me oriented to the point where nobody else matters at all. We don't want that. But I do believe that there are more of us especially in the gender woman, who are
mm.
led to believe that your worthiness is how you sacrifice yourself for others. And I think that that needs to be balanced out a little. So
Yeah.
that's why I tell women, especially, what makes you happy? Like, what is fun to you? And it took me as a recovering overachiever and perfectionist years before, like, I think maybe 6 years ago, I finally said, okay, I love my work, everybody knows that, but what do I do for fun? And I
Mm.
had to come up and that's when I started playing mahjong. I've been racing sailboats for 34 years, so that's different, but that's, like the adventure side of me. But I play mahjong for fun because I
Yeah.
really enjoy it. So what do you do for fun? That's the question. The
I
the
don't know if
the
I'm gonna embarrass
indicator.
my kids. Um,
Yeah.
for me, I love music. I love music. I can't sing a tune to save my life, but I love music. And I love when I'm in a mood or I feel like I need to lift myself up. I play what resonates in my heart. So sometimes it's going to be some gospel music when I'm in the car, I'm having a bad day, or when I'm in my kitchen because I love to cook also. And I play some good reggae music and I just dance around the kitchen by myself and that makes me
Mm.
that makes me so
There you
happy.
go. There you go. And that's it. It's we're here on the planet to be a beneficial presence on the planet, balanced with we're also here. This is it, right?
Mhm.
It's not a non-renewable energy. What did you do today? Or what can you do today to love your life, to really have some fun, to feel good? For me, it's always about feeling good. What is the best feeling thought that I can have so I'm not pissed off? I want to feel good 88% of the time, if not more. And that's my final word. We're out of time. Do you have a 5-second final word? I knew this would
My f-
happen.
my final word is to love your life, travel more, love yourself more.
Yes. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining me, Anika. Peace sign up. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day
Oh,
ever. I'll see you
thank you so
tomorrow.
much.
Thanks, Anika.